So we were talking about Quincy Jones. We were talking about the election, and piggybacking off of that subject, one of the questions that I had was, how would you define a life well lived?
A life in now generation, I would have to say, were you able to pass the baton?
Mm.
And the baton meaning, is it something tangible where I can be able to pick up where you left off, and it makes it easier for the generation.
Wow.
Like, it used to be back in the day where, oh my gosh, she was such a nice person.
Mm.
She was just given to the community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she was just such a great individual, but she never left the house. She always stayed a couple of blocks around her neighborhood.
Mm.
And she went to church. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that is a old perception.
Mm.
I think that's an old perception. For my generation or for my next generation, I think the next perception of a life well expressed would be, were you good enough for somebody to be able to want to sit around your bed? And two, did you leave a baton that
Wow.
you can be able to pass to the next generation and they feel like, well done?
Wow.
Because it's two forms of giving.
Yeah.
It's one part when you're living, and
Mm.
it's one part when you leave and die.
Wow. Oh my God. Please explain.
Living is levels to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's always levels to things. There's always levels to understanding. There's always levels to transition. If you allow yourself to transition into the growth in the places that you're supposed to be able to touch, see, do,
Mm.
then there are going to be lessons that attach to it
Okay.
in that growth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what is the most beautiful thing about that is you're simultaneously teaching your seed,
Mm.
because you got a responsibility. You're teaching your seed these levels. So now that you're sitting there comfortable and you don't feel like, I feel like I did good. I worked 30 years. I
Mm.
got a nice little decent retirement that's coming. But is that enough?
Right.
Is that enough? Or I got enough that I'll be able to bear me. You don't worry about me. Is
Yeah.
there enough? And I'm not taking nothing away from the people that felt like, you know what, this all I could do.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not taking that away, but you asked me the question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you asked me
Yeah.
the question.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So all bets off when it comes down to you not answering the call because you felt like, I ain't nobody got time for that. I don't feel
Mhm.
like going through that. I don't feel like going through nothing. I don't feel like that. I feel like I have done enough, and you ain't got to worry about me because I got enough that you could bear me.
Mm.
That ain't enough.
Like you
That's
said,
that's not
especially
enough.
for today.
Yes,
Especially for today.
especially especially for today. We just had Quincy Jones leave, and
Hmm.
my whole thing with that is that the first thing I thought about, his life was very fully expressed.
Yeah.
There was nothing. I don't feel, I don't know the man personally, but the
Right.
impression that I've gotten is that the territory that he touched, the
Hmm.
places that he's been, is what he's seen. I'm sure he gave his seed an eye full of possibilities.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, an
Yeah.
eye full of possibilities. And I think that that's what you're supposed to pass to your seed. While you're living, give them an eye full of possibilities. And when you leave, pass them a batons so that they can be able to stay in the midst of their creativity.
Mm.
Like
Wow.
what a thing to pass.
Wow.
Is that I want you to live in your life and live in creativity.
Woo!
Do you not understand what that would be if somebody passed that to you?
That is so. I said, what they be doing at the
Listen,
because
if
that.
somebody passed it down to you and said struggle is not in your language,
Mm,
but I'm just going to pass down the ability to live in the place of creativity.
man, which is literally our mandate here.
Yes,
We were created in the creator's image, which means we were sent here to create. That makes so much sense.
that's
Break
all
it
our Father do. That's all our
literally.
Father do. Sit back and I mean just create. We ain't picked up nothing.
Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Bringing it back to the life well lived, I can fully understand what it is you're saying because I genuinely feel like God smiles on that, being able to like sitting in your creativity and like you said, leaving a baton to pass, leaving an environment where your seed can then take it further.
You can go
That
further.
is
Yes. And the
mm,
way you live your life is that you're allowing them to feed off of the fact that you ain't saying no to transition. You ain't putting a
mm,
fear inside of your seed so that when things when you're here and then all of a sudden the energy now shifts and says, okay, now there's another space I need to take you to. You're embracing it because you have learned from your parents. Hey, that's all I've ever seen them do. Like I've never seen them stop just because they comfortable. They always open to change. They always open to transition. They always open to, okay, so what's next?
mm. What a
You
nut
know,
to pass. Yeah.
and my thing is too, you probably will have someone that argue to be able to say, well, what if you got a seed that don't want it?
Mm,
And that's transition.
mm.
You got to be able to know how to transition out of a parent of theirs.
Wow.
That's transitioning.
Wow.
Okay, because really
Mm.
ultimately we have been given we've only given kids with the understanding of being obedient.
Okay.
That kid was given to you, and it's two things that you can be able to use this situation for. You can sit down, hear the instructions on what you need to do to prepare that kid for what they're here for.
Mm.
And listening to them instructions is going to allow that kid to go carry out what they were supposed to be going to do.
Wow.
Or you can take on the mantle and say, this mine.
Mm.
And listen, do as I say. You need me.
Wow.
That's not true.
Wow.
They didn't come here in this world for that capacity. They came here to do a thing.
Mm.
They came here to do a thing. They came here with instructions. They came here with a purpose. They came here to do their part, whatever their part that was designed in this world and who they were supposed to go touch, see, do, create, whatever they were supposed to do, it was written.
Wow.
And you was the vessel that they came through in order to get here.
Mm.
So you got to be able to know I am the vessel that allowed them to get here. So that means I got to be obedient to the instructions and apply the instructions. So when it's time to shift and move, because this kid is shifting and moving, you ain't gonna take it personal. You're not gonna take it personal when all of a sudden at 14 and they get this epiphany and they like, I'm supposed to be doing this.
Wow.
And if you was following the instructions as they was coming along, you supposed to give confirmation and say, you right. You've been doing that all along.
Wow.
So let me tell you, let me place you over here so I can cultivate, so you can cultivate that.
Wow.
Because it ain't about my thoughts on what I feel like you're supposed to be doing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So parenting is transitioning too.
Ooh,
And
Lord.
that's a hard pill, honey. That's a hard pill because you got some people that stop moving and they done sat down and said, I am a parent.
Wow.
And they longer move. And they whole life mission is to be a parent. Well, guess what? When you start getting pushed back and that person feeling stagnant because you have identified your life in being my parent.
Oh my goodness.
What you think gonna happen with that? Somebody out of the party is getting ready to be frustrated.
Wow.
Because stagnant is getting ready to make them feel ill. Somebody gonna feel ill in the situation.
Wow.
Because there's no flow. There's no flow. So a fully expressed life is being able to be obedient when that child has gotten here and you was able to pour something into that kid that allowed them to get to their purpose. And not only that, but you are constantly listening and transitioning yourself because as a kid get older, they fall into adulthood and they need to be able to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
So as you keep going and you keep doing and you keep being fearless in your transitioning, you're still vicariously teaching. You still teaching. Because you got an instruction here too.
Right.
You know?
And you walking that thing out.
Listen. It ain't over till it's over.
Yeah.
It ain't over till it's over. And my prayer, and I've always said I want to be the old lady that was on the Titanic. Now that old lady, she sat there and laid down and said, I'm done.
I'm done. Wow. 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 Wow.
But she lived. You understand what I'm saying? She lived. Like I always, when I saw that part, I was just like, you better know it. Because I'm going to comb all the earth.
Man, that's so crazy because what a transition, what a pivot, what a thing that she had to overcome to say, I'm going to live. Like she literally could have made that tragedy her identity.
Yes. Yeah, you know how many people that do that? You know how many people, a moment is just supposed to be a moment. You know how many people take one moment and it lasts 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years? It was only supposed to be a moment.
Wow.
And you stretch that moment to last 20, 30 years. That moment, it truly identified. It just said, this is my life.
Wow.
It morphed into the definition of your life. A moment.
Wow.
You know how many times we don't have moments?
Yeah.
That could have been, oh, this is what my life is.
Yeah, I'm staying right here.
Yes. And you know, I've always told people, I've always said, look, I don't wear my story.
Yeah.
I wait till the opportunity to share it. And if you privileged enough to get me open up to say one of them stories,
Mm.
then you special,
Wow.
because I don't wear it. I don't walk around talking about woe is me and this is what happened to me. No.
Yeah.
The only time I unlock that box is I know it's going to be used to help you. Okay, so for me, the wrap up is this.
Okay.
We've had two pivotal moments.
Mm-hmm.
We've had deaths and we've had an election.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them, to me, to tie this up in a bow,
Mm-hmm.
it's really all about obedience.
Mm.
It's about obedience. Whether you're transitioning to be able to move throughout your life and elevate through your life, it all tie back to obedience.
Okay.
In order for Harriet Tubman to be Harriet Tubman,
Mm-hmm.
she had to be obedient. So
Yeah.
in moving forward, it is going to be absolutely important for you to learn how to go within, find your God in you,
Mm.
tap into it, trust it, listen to it, understand that that's the only cloak that you can put over you that's going to protect you from, I don't care who it is, the president,
Mm.
the government, the energy forces, the spiritual forces, all these things that people are feeling like that are coming in to try attack.
Yeah.
The thing that you need to do is that you got to find the God in you. This don't mean you going to church and you getting a good praise in and you just
Mm.
feeling good for the moment.
Ooh.
This ain't about that. This is about you getting quiet, you touching in the basis of the God that's in you.
Wow.
And we got to find it, because we got to stop looking outside of ourselves for the answer. And we got to find it, because that's going to be the protective cloak that we need to protect us from what is going on. Because one thing I know for sure,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who the powers that be, you cannot touch my God, because it says, touch not my anointed.
Mm.
And I
Mm.
need us to be able to sit underneath that, sit underneath that, and hold the universe, God, whatever you want to call them, and say, you said.
Yeah. Yep.
Go find it, because that's
Mm.
going to be your Wi-Fi coverage. Now, if you decide you want to get out from under the Wi-Fi coverage, that's on you.
Mm.
But go find your Wi-Fi coverage. And that's going to find the God is in you, being comfortable with it, being able to hear it, get used to hearing it, get used to hearing its voice.
Mm.
And if you want me to break this down even more simpler, it's the gut.
Mm.
Because some folks needed to be broken down very, very simple, because they need the milk. They like, I ain't ready to chew on that meat yet.
Mm.
They ain't ready to be for me to say the God in them.
Wow.
They want me to juice it so that they can partake of it.
Ooh.
Okay, your gut.
You're good. You're good.
Get used to listening to it.
Mm.
Because when you stop listening to it, it's a small voice and you can miss it, and it'll get faint and you won't be able to hear it. So get used to hearing it, because that's what's going to save our generation. That's what's going to allow us to be accountable for the generation before us. That's going to allow us to be able to understand how to get to the wealth.
Wow.
Because being a good person is not the definition of wealth.
Mm.
I know plenty broke good people.
Man.
Obedience.
Obedience.
They say obedience is better than sacrifice.
Well, literally in my head, all I'm hearing is like that is phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thankful for this platform. And I'm thankful that I am brave enough
Yes.
to move forward in it.
Yeah.
Because I wrestled with it for the longest, and I used to say, who are you?
Mm.
Like, you know, how you know your words is true.
Right. Oh,
Well, guess what?
yeah.
I'm gonna wrap it back up to what we was talking about.
Mm.
Obedience.
Obedience. Period. I love it. This was phenomenal. Oh, that's so good. Okay, Mom. I love you. I'm gonna call you on the phone.
I love you too. I love you too. I'm gonna show you one thing before we get off.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. Oh, that's so good. I love it.
Look at this.
Wow. Oh my gosh, I love it. Let me see. Do that. Look at Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That part.
Because she said, I'm going to be ready. Okay. I don't know about you guys. I'm going to be ready.
That part.
Oh my God.
I'm fully committed. I'm with it. No question. I'm not questioning it no
Oh,
more. I'm not questioning it no more. So
I'm, I'm
so
just so.
ain't nobody out there gonna be able to give as many questions I gave myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Oh my God.
no, ain't one you can give me that I ain't gave myself. Okay, I done ran all of them down.
Man.
So this is the reason. This is the reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's the reason.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like,
Thank you.
that's all I can say. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay. Let me
Okay.
not start. I'm gonna go make this sandwich right quick before he leave, and then I'm gonna call you. All right, Mom.
All right. Love you.
Bye. I love you too.